steals. No. Oh, goodness!
This looks familiar for Timberwolves fans and brings back memories from the past.
Kevin Garnett! And that gets the crowd into it.
The excitement, the dominance, and the hope for a championship were pretty much the same exactly 20 years ago when the Minnesota Timberwolves finished the season as the #1 seed. 2 decades later, they're finally back on top of the West again. And this time, they're striving to surpass the success of that memorable team led by Kevin Garnett, Latrell, Sprewell, and Sam Cassel. That team had the MVP of the season in KG, who literally did everything for this team.
Looking inside, they lob it to Garnett beneath the foul line. The fadeaway with a hand in his face in the air for the win! Yes, sir! Garnett gives Minnesota the win at Target Center!
In 2004, Garnett led the league in rebounds and was 3rd in points per game, a phenomenal all-around package. That's even without mentioning his defense.
James cross court.
Kevin Garnett, the big ticket tonight!
The long arm of the law.
KG was a monster on the defensive end, one of the rare superstars to be so engaged defensively. His intensity was unmatched. This would get him a first-team all-defense selection that season, a true two-way superstar. Thing is, today's team also has a two-way superstar who likes to take on the challenge of guarding the best guy on the opposing team.
Oh, the strip. Tatum goes down, and a jump ball is called.
And the rim protection is as good as ever thanks to Rudy Gobert.
Rejected by Gobert.
This year, Minnesota has the best defense in the league. Actually, the numbers show that this is their identity. The 2004 squad was much more balanced, having the 5th offense and the #6 defense, while now, the gap between the two ends of the court is a bit more pronounced. But don't get it twisted. These new Wolves are far from a bad offensive unit.
Sports, Michael Brady, Jim Peterson, Katie Storm, Conley around a couple of screens. The floater to Gobert.
Towns can go off for 30 on any given night, much like Latrell Sprewell could back in the day. The savvy leadership of Mike Conley provides rock-solid stability that's very similar to the one of Sam Cassel, with the only difference between the two being that Conley doesn't really say much, and Cassel was the loudest mouth in his day.
Sam Cassel is one of the most talkative people in the world.
On the mic, Mike.
He uses like 100 words and then he brings them out all at once. Be like, what? Oh, you want me showing the pick and roll? Yeah.
What are you saying?
That team was way more dependent on their big three, with Fred Hoiberg and Wally Szczerbiak being the next guys, and this roster is much deeper now beyond Ant, Cat, and Rudy. Jaden McDaniels is a great defensive stopper on the perimeter, and Naz Reid gives this team a big-time boost off the bench. One of my favorite players actually, he could be a starting big man on like 20 teams in the league. But all that aside, you can see the similarities between these two squads. And the pace of wins is almost exactly the same, which is crazy. At the moment of making this video, Minnesota sits at the top of the West, #1 with a record of 41-17. And with the same number of games played, Garnett's team was 42-16. They finished the season as the best team in the West with 58-24. And while we still don't know how the story unfolds for today's Minnesota team, in 2004, the pressure was on in the playoffs. By that point, KG had never come out of the first round. Admittedly, he never really had a competitive team to hope for more either, but things were different in 04. The 8-seeded Denver, led by a rookie Carmelo Anthony, never had a chance as Sam Cassel absolutely exploded for 40 points on 66% from the field in the series opening.
And here is Cassel for the 2. Sam Cassel, a game to remember for him, 5 3-pointers.
Then in Game 2, it was Sprewell's turn, dropping 31 points on 64% shooting.
Sprewell, who had a very hot first half. Basket counts in the foul.
KG's monster Game 4 of 27 points, 14 rebounds, and 5 assists gave the T-Wolves a commanding 3-1 lead, which they were able to convert into a 4-1 win in Game 5, securing a second-round matchup against the electric Sacramento Kings. And right out of the gate, the Kings attacked Minnesota and stole Game 1 on the road, led by Mike Bibby and his 33 points. The Timberwolves regrouped the next game and the series shifted to Sacramento at 1 apiece. In Game 3, Minnesota had the perfect chance to get back home court as they were up by 5 with the ball in their hands with only 40 seconds to go. The win was almost secured, but then...
Rebound by Christie inside. He's got 10 rebounds. He's got a double-double. Stojakovic for 3 and a foul!
And a foul!
And just moments later...
It's against Martin and Stojakovic for the tie!
This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable.
In a wild ending, it seemed like Sacramento had all the momentum and the Timberwolves missed a golden opportunity.
Gotta go.
Garnett. Stojakovic, he's in a straitjacket and forward.
But this team was resilient and they proved that when it mattered the most.
They can take the lead.
Sprewell with a big-time hit. He's got 25. Who will take the shot with 3 to go? Garnett. What a shot by Kevin Garnett!
Minnesota survives and takes the lead in this series. Then, a back-and-forth comfortable wins between the two teams set the stage for a deciding 7th game in Minneapolis. And this is where Kevin Garnett showed everybody why he was the MVP.
Positions for Sacramento.
He just crossed over and left Chris Webber standing in his wake.
KG went God mode, carrying his team with a performance for the ages. 32 points, 21 rebounds, 4 steals, and 5 blocks. Absolutely astonishing display of dominance on both ends of the court.
And was one-on-one with Vlade. It's a no contest.
It's Bibby, 2 of 7. Rejected by Kevin Garnett.
But the Kings would not go away, and this was a war for every possession and every point. In a do-or-die situation in the 4th quarter, it was KG all alone willing his team to the finish line.
Shot clock is down to 5. And Miller's got Garnett way outside. Oh, what a shot by Kevin Garnett!
Happy birthday.
And Kevin Garnett has taken the steal.
14 points by Garnett in the final period, a heroic performance to secure a 3-point lead in the final moments. And it all came down to the last possession.
Caught by Miller, rejected by Garnett! Webber with a tie, and the Minnesota Timberwolves are going to the Western Conference Finals.
The Timberwolves are headed to the Western Conference Finals in a showdown against the juggernaut, the super team of the Los Angeles Lakers. And right away, it was clear that this squad was simply too much for them to handle. Still, Minnesota would not go out without a fight. With their backs against the wall and a 3-1 series deficit, they made it interesting by winning Game 5 behind KG's 30 points and 19 rebounds, a monster performance.
Long stepped away, and Kevin Garnett has 25 points.
And Sprewell supported him offensively with 28 points of his own to fight for a 6th game in LA.
Sprewell for 3. It's been a sensational game for Latrell Sprewell, 10 for 17.
And although it was competitive in Staples, at the end, the Lakers prevailed, putting an end to this magical run for the Timberwolves. This would turn out to be their most successful season in franchise history, and what followed was a long period of darkness and mediocrity. That is, until recently.
Look at the moves by Edwards. Swashbuckling and slamming! Anthony Edwards!
Now things are different. The city has the same vibe like it did 20 years ago, and hopes are high for this team. Now it's on Edwards, Towns, and company to mark a new era in Timberwolves history. That's it for now. Subscribe and talk to you in the next one. Peace out.